Hi, my name is Javaid Kiyani from Property Coaching Club. Today I've got Maria Forte here, who's a credit score expert. How are you today, Maria?
Very good. Thank you, Javaid. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. And thank you for speaking to me today. I've got a few questions for you that I'm sure a lot of property investors would like answers for.
Sure.
And I just want to hear your response to some of these questions.
Sure.
One of the questions I get quite a lot from my list of property investors is, at the moment, as you know, it's very, very difficult to get loans and mortgages, especially for property. Do you have any idea why this is happening today in the market? Because 2 to 3 years ago, obviously, it was much easier to get loans for property purchases. Why has the market changed so rapidly in 2 to 3 years?
Well, it's a very sensitive subject at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The lenders, if they see on the applications that you've put your property-related income, that you're a landlord or a property sourcer or maybe a property mentor or something like that, you're going to be rejected because they're very sensitive. It's one of the things that's really brought the market down.
Okay.
And what you need to do really is create some other source of income up to about £25,000, 20 to £25,000 of other income, so that the lenders will be able to lend to you and they don't feel that they're exposed to being in more property, lending to you for more property.
So basically what you're saying is that it's better for someone who's wanting to buy a property to have a job, for example.
Exactly.
To support them.
Absolutely.
And what lenders don't like is the fact that someone doesn't have a job and they are fully reliant upon their property portfolio.
That's exactly it. And also, they don't like if people have had too many searches as well,
Okay.
too many footprints, they're called.
Okay.
And that is really affecting the fact that whether they get their loan or not as well. So that's really very important too.
So would these searches be related to mortgage applications?
Absolutely. Or credit card applications as well.
Okay.
So anything that looks like they're looking for more money.
So if you're a property investor, obviously you'll be, and you're buying property using loans,
Mm-hmm.
you will have a lot of searches on your files.
Absolutely.
Do you have any ideas what one can do if they have a lot of searches?
Yeah, sure. My suggestion would be to stick to one a month. If you can do one a month, buy one property per month,
Right.
that would be great. Or you can get a larger loan, like a commercial loan,
Okay.
and split, like for £500,000 or something,
Right.
and then you can split it into smaller properties.
Okay.
So you've been given an advance, let's say,
Yes.
and that would help a lot. So that'll save so many searches. Or you can also do joint ventures with people, save your credit score, save your searches.
Okay. So if someone's buying more than one property a month, because obviously one property a month, it's not a huge amount of property. If you're buying 3 to 5 properties a month,
Yeah.
is there something you can do for that amount of property that would improve your rating?
Yeah, commercial loan or get an
okay.
advance.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion.
Another problem I've had a lot of my investor, a lot of people on my list, is one question they've asked me is that they've been turned down for loans on, for example, mortgages because they've had no rating whatsoever.
Yes.
Now, when someone says to you that they've got no credit rating, what would that mean to you? Does that
It
mean
means
that
they've just got no history.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that they're bad creditors.
it doesn't mean that they don't exist? Or I suppose I'll come back to that in a second, because obviously
Yeah.
you need to exist to be able to get a mortgage or a
They're
loan.
looking for history, aren't
Yeah.
they? And that's what your score is. It's your history.
Yeah. So how would someone who's never taken out a loan,
Mm-hmm.
never had a credit card, but they've got a good income coming in from either a job or a business, how would this type of person, if he wants to get a loan, get a loan for property they want to purchase?
Well, they need to start with the small things first.
Okay.
Like get a small bank loan from the bank that you bank with.
Okay.
And that's the start of your credit history, because then you start to repay that loan and you're building month by month, you're building a history
Mhm.
of repayments.
Okay.
Then you ask for a credit card,
Yep.
and then you start with your credit card payments month by month as well. Even if you pay them off fully,
Yeah.
that's absolutely great as well, because then you don't have to incur the interest, but you're creating a history again.
Okay.
And these credit agencies are reporting back to say that you're a good creditor,
Right.
and your score is going up and up and up.
Okay.
And then in a few months' time, you can just ask for a mortgage.
Okay. So obviously these kind of techniques, you won't improve your score over, say, 2 days. It'll take longer than that.
It will.
What kind of timescales are we looking at?
It depends on what it is, how badly affected you are. If you're starting from absolute scratch,
Right.
it could take up to 6 months to get a
Okay.
really good score. If you've been damaged by a county court judgment, it could take maybe 6 months to a year.
Right.
It depends on the type of thing. The problem is that there's a lot. 1 in 3 credit reports here in the UK
Okay.
have incorrect or old entries on there,
Okay.
and it affects your credit score very badly indeed.
Right.
And you need to check that. You need to ensure that your credit score is clean and it's what it should be, because they don't care what they report.
Okay.
They just report, and it's up to you to keep an eye on your score.
And how does the consumer go about checking their reports and getting it changed if it's incorrect?
You've got to check it. You can check it on the internet
Okay.
through Experian, Equifax, all of the main lenders, or all of the main credit score agencies. Just keep an eye on it,
Okay.
and that's the key.
And if you see an entry on there that's incorrect, is it up to you to actually write to them? Is there a standard procedure one needs to follow?
Absolutely, yes.
And I assume each of those companies has their own procedure and the information for that you'd find from their websites, I assume.
Yes, well, in my book that I've written recently, I've got a lot of all the templates and all the
Okay.
legal documents that you need to send away to these agencies, and sample letters, so you don't have to worry about, oh, what do I say to these people?
Okay.
So you just send it off. And
That's excellent. I mean, in your opinion, do these agencies respond well? I mean, are they quite happy to change information when they find that you've actually given them the proof?
they are good, yes. I have to
Okay.
say, you will get response from these people. They're very good on the telephone.
Right.
So you call them up, follow up. You're given a reference number, so you're a reference. Everything's referenced.
Okay.
And yes, they are good, but you do have to follow them up.
Okay.
They won't do it automatically.
Right. And timescale wise, if I was to write to them tomorrow,
Mhm.
I mean, what kind of timescale am I looking at for them to get back to me and say, yes, you've got a case here, and I'm willing to look into it for you?
It could take 2 weeks. It could take more than 2 weeks.
Okay. So it's obviously on a per case basis. Yeah.
I would imagine it would be about 3 weeks, let's say.
Okay, Maria. Thanks for your time here. You've got a lot of information here on credit scoring, and it's definitely a topic a lot of people. Well, they need to have. Basically, if you want finance on a property, you need to have a good credit score,
Absolutely.
especially in today's market. And I know you've got a wealth of knowledge, so if any of my listeners want further information, they can get back to me and I can send them your details.
Thank you very much indeed, Javaid.
Okay, Maria, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.